Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Krono here, and welcome back to the channel. So it's been a couple of days and a couple of streams, and I tweeted out not too long ago that I was working on some cleanup, both figuratively and literally, and I will let you guys kind of know what's going on and give you guys an update once that's all taken care of. Well, I can't say it's all taken care of, but we're about as close to it as we're going to be for right now. Anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, I don't know why this is your first video, but I'm Krono. I promote PSO2 content. I'm not going to go to my usual spiel. We'll talk about that later in the video, but let's go ahead and just jump into what we're going to talk about right now. So I'm going to kind of tear this out into different individual pieces based on what I feel like people are going to care about the most versus what they care about the least, depending upon how far like you support my content and stuff. To start things off, to kind of give a bit of a context of what I was talking about in that tweet. Skulls and I are in a position at the moment where we want to try to move into our own place. Essentially, we're looking at moving. Though where we are isn't exactly a terrible thing. We do need our own space and need a bit more space overall because we are a little cramped in the space we currently have between the two of us and our very, very loud cat. You guys have, I'm sure, heard on the channel if you watch enough of the Twitch streams. But I do want to have some more space for us overall. So part of what I wanted to work on or what needed to get done was actually just cleaning up and downsizing some things into boxes to get things set aside to get in the process of getting started on, you know, basically being ready to go ahead and move when that time comes around. That was a much larger undertaking than I realized because we have more stuff than I realized at the time. And essentially it required me to essentially clean out 2 closets completely. Whether it be trashing out things we don't need anymore, or breaking down boxes of old things that we had, or, you know, boxing up old clothes or things we weren't using anymore. Just all that stuff over the last 2 days, basically, is what I was working on. Whenever I wasn't working, like when I wasn't at my 9 to 5, that's what I was working on, essentially, or my 8 to 5, excuse me. That's what I was working on, you know, in mix in between a little bit, taking care of some dailies and weeklies and different and various games. But mostly that was what I spent all my free time doing for the past couple of days. And though that's not really, you know, a problem, so to speak, it's part of what I mentioned. And as I was working on that, or as I thought about getting started on working on that, I also realized there were some things I wanted to do for my channel and for my content that I was making that I've also kind of neglected sitting down and just getting done. And part of me is part of knowing that when I get started on some stuff, I just want to get it all taken care of as much as I possibly can and put myself in a good position to take care of more moving forward in a way that I feel like is going to be beneficial for me. So there are some things I need to change up about the way I do content. Don't worry, we're not losing out on content. So for those of you guys who are concerned about the content side of things, when it comes to the YouTube channel, when it comes to the Twitch streams, that sort of stuff, this is where the information comes up for you guys. So when it comes to the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, that stuff, that's still going to be around. That's still going to be mostly the same, but I'm going to be diversifying things a tad bit, not in a way that's going to be super invasive in what you guys currently are in. But I had to sit down and realize that I am looking at moving. I do primarily, I'm the 9 to 5 person for my family, right? Like for myself and Skulls, it's not that, you know, she doesn't support as well, but I am our primary breadwinner for like just our standard 9 to 5. And then we both do content and things like that. So I've got to really, or I have to keep myself in a mindset of making sure that I'm taking care of what we have to take care of as much as possible, which she does help me out with. And she also does cover me taking care of me because I tend to put that aside in a lot of situations. But it is something that I do think about on a daily basis. And for the longest time, that's just kind of what I've always done. Even if it was just for myself, I've always had that mindset of like, I'm taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And I need to kind of push that more into a little bit more of what I'm doing. So what does that mean for streams and for YouTube and things of that sort? Well, first off, I need to get on a regular schedule for both YouTube and Twitch. It needs to be consistent. It needs to stick. And I mean, realistically, only like emergencies should be what stops that schedule. It's one of the most important things when it comes to streaming is having a consistent schedule. And the problem is that literally next week, my schedule is going to change. However, I'm going to have my schedule set up in a way that though there'll be a bit less frequency of the Twitch streams right now, There's going to be consistency of the YouTube videos. There's going to be extra content mixed in as well, that you guys will be able to enjoy. And I think you guys are actually going to really like this a lot more. So for the Twitch streams, what that means is that I will be shifting them to Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesday and Wednesdays are going to be my days off from now on, which is cool because that means that I will be able to always be around for content releases. Be around the days that we have headlines, streams, and things of that sort. We can have longer streams and actually, get a chance to sit down and really talk about this sort of stuff without me having to run off and go to work immediately and then try to get a video up in between my breaks at work, which is very difficult. But the cool thing is I'll be around for those. And then of course it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for other releases, things like, Dawn Trail's release for Final Fantasy 14 is going to be on a Friday, and that sort of stuff will be a little bit more difficult to figure out, but we'll parse that out as we go along with it. We'll get time worked out, we'll save up what we got to, and we'll have a good time. No worries there. So the days off are gonna be cool. The nice thing that's gonna happen is we'll be able to also take that time and really put it into streaming. So my current goal is for those Tuesdays and Wednesdays to be live from 12 to 8. It's an 8-hour stream. It's pretty solid. It's a good amount of time, and it's actually gonna be right around the time that I'm gonna be working anyway, meaning that I'll still stick to somewhat of a similar schedule when it comes to work and streaming. And then YouTube content will continue daily. So the idea is to get it up to daily. Right now, it's going to be guaranteed video. It's going to be coming out on Wednesdays. That is going to be, of course, your update video for PSO2. And then, of course, more videos sprinkled throughout the week. I want to get in the kind of the habit of doing daily videos and diversifying the content a bit more. So you guys might see a couple of things tried out here and there, maybe some Final Fantasy 14 content, maybe some more Grand Blue content and that sort of thing. But it's going to be something we're going to try out and we're going to test on the channel. And then we have some other plans mixed in as well. So it's probably a good time to go ahead and show you guys the other stuff that I'll be mixing in along with it. So let me pop over here to our YouTube channel. So we've got our YouTube channel here, but I went ahead and made a little something extra. So we pop over to view channel. We have a second channel, our boy Krono apostrophe. Yes, we'll have a second YouTube channel where essentially this will just be everything else I want to do as far as content is concerned. If it doesn't fit on the main channel, this is where I'm going to put it. We'll try stuff out on the main channel. Maybe we'll try some 14 stuff. We'll try some Grand Blue stuff. And if it just doesn't really fit the vibe of the main channel, I don't want to just not do the content because I'll still be playing it with you guys. That's a really hard part about this process is like a lot of times I do make content for other stuff. And when it doesn't really do super hot, it's not me, saying, hey, it's your fault that we're not doing it. But when it doesn't do super well, I can't really keep pushing time into that. But I do want to still play that sort of stuff. I just want to make that content. So this allows me to get that out. I'm able to still, release that content. You guys can still enjoy it. For those of you guys who, do support the channel in that sort of way, you'll still have it available to you. And I'll still be able to enjoy that time with you guys. So we don't have to worry about, not having that released on the channel. We'll still be pushing it forward because for those of you guys who follow my channel for a very long time, I actually used to do like Let's Play content way back in the day. We had an entire series of Demon Souls, of Dark Souls 1, the dot hack games. Like I even tried starting to play the oh god, I remember going back and looking at the video and it's really bad, like Darksiders 2 or something. It's not great. You shouldn't. I might actually cry with that video now that I mentioned it. But yeah, like we got into that sort of stuff, and it's a lot of stuff that I really want to do and I really like playing and I want to put time into it. And like when you really want to invest time into something, you really do put a lot of effort into it. But knowing it's not going to do super hot on the channel, like it's a little harder to push that sort of thing, right? So having somewhere else to put that stuff that is there for people who do want to follow my passion projects or that do want to get that extra bit of content, I don't want to take that away from you guys, but I want to have somewhere to put that we can all enjoy it. So that's what this channel is going to be for. We do have one more channel. We are reviving the VODs channel. So the VODs channel will just be VODs and that's it. What we're going to be doing is downloading our VOD at the end of the night each night and uploading it. It will be going live the next day around the time that we usually would be scheduled to go live. So it will have 2 VODs, of course, a week. And then if there are any other streams mixed in on the secondary or I guess that kind of gives away what the other surprise is, but everything else that's streamed is going to also be uploaded to the VOD channel, right? So it's all going to go here. It's only one location. You'll be able to keep up all the streams. And the nice thing will be is that I can actually kind of have a uniform way of uploading this information. Be able to tag it with dates very easily. We'll be able to tag it with information in the descriptions. And it's just going to be more concise and easier able to follow in case that's something you are interested in. Because as it stands right now, we do actually have a VOD section on the main channel. If I pop back over here, we go to the main channel, there is a VOD section. It just isn't something that people normally see too often. Like we have a whole section for VODs. And like altogether, I think it has less views than like one of my videos. So like, it's just, I don't like spamming people with the VOD notifications. But those who actually want VODs, I mean, it should be there available to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them and house them on that channel specifically. There'll be a separate channel that you guys can enjoy if you want to go ahead and subscribe to it. It's still the same VOD channel. It's still Krono VODs. So it'd be Krono Catastrophe VODs. I believe, yeah, it's youtube.com/Krono Catastrophe VODs. You'll be able to find it pretty easily, or you can just go to the main channel, scroll down, and it's right here. So you can find it very, very quickly, very easily. We'll put Krono apostrophe here when YouTube decides he wants to show Krono apostrophe, but it's probably because he has no subs. If you want to be the first sub, feel free. I'm going to sub to the old channel. I'll let one of you guys sub to it first. And then you'll be able to pop up over here and we'll see him there. So that's what we're doing over on YouTube. Moving over to Twitch. You can kind of guess where we're going with this. Kind of did ruin the surprise earlier. We're making a second Twitch channel as well. This will be for moments where I have other games that I really want to put time into and play, and I have the time to do so. Basically in situations where maybe at the end of our usual stream, or we stream a little bit less on our usual channel, and we move over to the second channel for some for, you know, relink content, or for Final Fantasy 14 content. And maybe that doesn't do super well on the main channel. We decide to do it on the secondary channel. Maybe we do, you know, some other stuff. What if we get into WoW again? If we play Destiny 2 or whatever it happens to be, right? I'm just naming things off the top of my head. I wasn't necessarily saying that's what we're going to be doing, but things like that I do want to still play and I want to enjoy with you guys. Maybe we'll jump into 76 some more. I have been playing that with Skulls and enjoying it quite a bit. And I would love to stream for you guys. I'd love to hang out and just kind of chill. Kind of have like a chill vibe, not really worry too much about anything. But it doesn't always fit on the main channel. So I don't want to, you know, get you guys out of whack over on the main channel. I want to leave that with what people expect it to be. And then put that sort of stuff over here if it doesn't do super well over there. It allows us to kind of get that out there. This won't have an actual schedule. It'll just kind of be whenever we have extra time. If I, you know, happen to have videos, you know, recorded for a while and I've got some free time in the evenings, maybe we'll pop up with a bonus stream over on the second channel and that sort of thing, right? So feel free to follow the second channel. It's not going to have anything like subs, anything along those lines. It's just gonna be a follow. It's gonna be very, very, very bare bones. And like I mentioned beforehand, the VODs from this channel will also be uploaded to the VOD channel in its own section. So you guys won't be missing out any of that stuff if you follow the VOD channel. Now, this is going to be the section for those who really follow a lot of my content, who really like to support a lot of the content. So for those of you guys who are just concerned with content, like the YouTube and Twitch stuff, you're good. That's all you need to know about. You're all set. You can go ahead and pop out here. But for those who follow pretty much everything that I do, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys some other stuff I'll be adding over to the channels. So if you pop over to the Twitch channel and pop over here, you can see, actually, we scroll down, we've got some more links here. First off, we have Kofi, or Kofi. I'm gonna flashbang you guys, I'm sorry, but here it is. So Kofi, it'll be a way to support the channel, $2 a month, or you can do it one time, it's up to you. But it's like donations and tips and things of that sort. This is basically just a way that people can support if they want to support. A thing that I did that was actually probably really bad at the time, we did have a time where people really did like to support the channel and they wanted to find a way to give back, so on and so forth. And I really didn't give them an avenue to do so. I didn't really want people to feel like they needed to do something like that. I wanted it to be a situation where if you were giving something, you were getting something. So the only avenue I gave everyone was literally just subbing on Twitch. And I thought that was the coolest thing to do because, like, you guys got emotes and all that stuff. And I realized over time and talking to some people and just really thinking about it, that that's really kind of a selfish way of doing it. you guys should be able to support however you want to. So I want to give options. I want to give ways you guys can go through this sort of stuff. It's up to you individually, but one thing I want to make very clear, I'm not locking any of my content behind a paywall under any circumstances, no matter under any situation itself. I won't even be locking the act behind a paywall itself. So while this is here and available to you guys, I will try to make an extra effort to offer you guys extra bonuses when I can, extra little sneak peeks and stuff. I will probably be using my Kofi to post like stuff about my model, maybe some interesting little tidbits, things that don't really fit over on YouTube or Twitch, but like just some interesting fun little stuff that I don't feel like posting on Twitter. Sometimes Twitter can be a little annoying, so expect to see them pop up over here in notifications, little blog posts, so on and so forth. So if that's something you're interested in, you can always pop over here to support your boy. You don't have to, it's up to you. You can even just follow in case you might want to at some other time, but that's, again, totally personal preference based. Popping over to YouTube, actually, we do have the join button set up. I know I mentioned a while back that, you know, hey, we have memberships, and we didn't actually have the membership set up. That's because I'm a big old doof. I didn't know how that actually worked. But we set up memberships, and we have set them, hold on a second. Okay. Set them specifically to $2. Same thing that it is over on Kofi. So, or Coffee. I don't know, is it Kofi? Is it Coffee? Like, what is, I'm gonna call it Coffee. Anyway, so set up over on Coffee. So $2 recurring, not requirement, anything along those lines, but does help out the channel. I do appreciate anyone who does decide to do that, and we will be doing like shout outs and things of that sort. One thing I did want to try doing as well is those of you guys who are subbed over on Twitch or joined over on YouTube, give you guys kind of extra access to me overall. I know sometimes some people do have a difficulty with trying to figure out, you know, certain things in game, and I want to ask questions and all that good stuff. And even though I've said multiple times, hey, you guys can DM me, just join Discord, DM me, and I'm more than happy to take a look at your question or try to answer it for you. Giving like a tangible, you have the ability to do this if you've done this, sometimes helps push people a little bit more. So what I'm going to say is, if you are, if you do sub over on Twitch, if you've joined over on YouTube, that's going to give you more access to me. Just message me, let me know what's going on. I'm more than happy to look into stuff with you guys. Kind of more on a one-to-one basis. That way you don't feel like you're bothering me. You're kind of like, this is a service that you have essentially almost paid for at that point in time. So hopefully that will open or facilitate that door for some people to be able to go ahead and have that conversation, because even now I get people that message me and they're like, yo, I'm so sorry for bothering you or anything along those lines. And I'm like, I'm telling you to do this. It's totally fine. Do not worry about it. That does not mean that you won't be able to do this if you aren't joined, if you aren't subbed. I know that's kind of counterintuitive, but the idea is that those of you guys who do join over on YouTube or do sub over on Twitch, I'll make an extra effort to make sure I get to you guys as soon as possible. Usually my DMs, I just get to them when I get to them. You guys will have a priority essentially when it comes down to it. So you're not being locked out. It's just going to be a time-based sort of thing. So hopefully that it's a fair way of doing things. And in the future, we may come up with some other stuff that we can do. Maybe some specialized membership or sub chats or anything like that, if it ever gets down to it. But that's kind of what we're doing for YouTube and Twitch and things of that sort, and of course for donations, things like that. But those of you guys who are paying attention will notice there are more links in that. I also wanted to go ahead and provide other methods of supporting that don't have to be monetary. Some people, they don't like using money. They prefer items, gifts, things like that. I'm really bad to shop for because I just buy everything I need myself. Skulls can attest to this. I just, if I need it, I just get it on my own. I have to be banned from purchasing myself anything a month in advance for birthdays or for Christmas. So it's a real big pain in the butt. So what I did was we set up an Amazon wishlist. I'm going to make sure that that actually shows up okay. Give me one sec. All right. So yeah, the Amazon wishlist. This is just stuff that I know I need for the stream or that I've wanted to go ahead and set up that at some point I'm probably going to buy. But if you want to buy it for me to help support the channel or anything along those lines, you don't have to. Again, not a requirement, but you have the opportunity to do so if that's something that you guys decide that you want to do. Again, this is something I don't expect a lot of people to do. This is the opportunity. If that comes around, maybe a birthday will come around, or you guys will see something that you like, or I don't know, maybe someone hits it big and they're like, yo, let me hook up the boy. Whatever it happens to be, now this is the option here available. We're not going to push this. This is one of the few times we're even going to talk about it. It's just going to be there. All that's going to change is it's going to go from being a link over here to one of the panels, and then we'll never talk about it again. It'll just be there. If someone asks a question that's about something that's on there, I'll be like, hey, yeah, it's on the wish list, man. You can find it over there. And that's it. That's the only conversation we're going to have about it. I already feel kind of bad about doing these sort of things, but again, I have to get myself out of that mindset. This is about choice, not about what I think you guys should be doing, so on and so forth. So it's up to you individually how you want to go about that process. The last thing, there is one more link, and that link is a link that says my stream gear. This is going to take you over to a page called kit.co. These are essentially going to be links over to storefronts that I have set up. Now, these storefronts are going to basically just show products that I personally recommended. You can see little notes talking about, things like that I have for these items. This is basically just stuff I use for the stream. Stream Deck, my mic arm. I know some people have asked in the past about, how I split audio if they ever want to do content themselves. I feel like the Elgato Wave 3 is kind of a game changer if you're just getting into streaming and things like that. It makes life so much easier that I wish I had known about so long ago. And it's not that much of an investment. It's just literally just the mic itself, if you can go that route. I mean, there's other items you want to go along with it. I think they're kind of pricey, but they're almost invaluable when it comes to these. And I've bought these once and I've never had to replace them. And I've had this mic for years now. This is also the same mic arm I've had for a long time. So all this stuff is just stuff that I personally use. And I'm actually gonna be talking about these two items in a video pretty soon to kind of talk about my transition from controller over to keyboard and mouse and how these actually helped out a lot. So we'll be talking about that in a video, probably on the second channel, funny enough. But these are just the items I use in case people are curious. Now, these are Amazon affiliate links if you click on them. So they are affiliated. If you guys can purchase them from Amazon, I'm gonna ask you do so. But if you see a better deal in other places, I think you even mentioned it here. Yeah, my recommendations are always you turn off possible. I think I mentioned on this one. As much as it would help me if you'd pick this up from my store, check Elgato's site as they occasionally sell it cheaper than Amazon. Very true. I bought mine from the Elgato site itself directly. So just a place for you guys to be able to go and check this out. I'll add things to this as I get stuff or as I think there's gonna be things that are gonna be necessary. I also have other stores I can go ahead and create for other things as well. It's just something, again, a way for you guys to help support. It doesn't cost you anything extra and you still are able to buy things for yourself. This is buying for yourself, by the way, if I didn't make that super obvious. And that's it. That's pretty much everything that's going on. It's all the new stuff as far as updates for the channel. We will be doing more new things in the mix here. I'm going to want to try to get my my Q&A videos going again. Again, I just want to get videos rolling out in general and get things moving forward in a consistent basis. Hopefully you guys will stick along for the ride, and those of you guys who have so far, I very much appreciate it. Anyway, one thing that has never changed when it comes to my content is I'm still terrible at doing outros. Do all the YouTube things, they help out a ton, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, my friends. Peace out.